Hi, this is Lucy, your clarity coach, and this is Tuesday Talks at 3. Welcome to the August Filling Your Cup series. Now, this is a 5-part series that focuses on refreshing, enriching, and nurturing our mental health. It's just a beautiful space in today's world where we are open about what mental health is all about. So just hoping that this particular 5-part series is going to be impactful in a certain way in your life. And please, I'd love to hear back from you. What has it done for you? How has it impacted you? Have you actually paid it forward? Now, there are 5 episodes, like I have said, 2 down, 3 to go, today being the 3rd one, and then 2 in the coming weeks. The first one was about filling your cup with motivators. And then we touched 3 beautiful salient points. And one of them was setting up your goals. The SMART goal. What is your goal? So important. You set out doing something, there must be an objective. Put it down. And I gave you a few statistics. I'm hoping that a few of you can remember how dismal these statistics, the words, how dismal these statistics are when it comes to people having success rates. And it all boiled down to you writing it down. So writing it down so that you are able to keep on going back to it and measuring, because that gets measured gets done. And I'm sure you've heard me say this before. So SMART goal, what is it? Is it time bound? Is it realistic? Is it measurable? And these things do work. The second one was picking your inner circle. And I cannot actually say how important this is. I cannot stress enough is the word I'm looking for. I cannot stress enough about how important your inner circle is, because the sum of your inner circle actually amounts to who you are, how you show up. If you're hanging out with people who are analysts, this is who you become. You start walking into a situation and you begin to analyze it. If you're working with people or surrounding yourself with people who are servant leaders, this is who you end up becoming. It becomes like a DNA. It's as if you've acquired it by osmosis, like we used to say in school. You just become the people that are surrounding you. So who is in your inner circle? This is so important for you to know. Choose them, hand pick them. Feel no shame in cutting ties and not having somebody in your inner circle. It's because you're building yourself up. We call them the gathering years. And then last but not least, in that takeaway, there was rewarding yourself. And we're going to expand a bit more of that in this session today, which is all about honoring your achievements and filling your cup with that, exactly that. Then we went on to filling your cup with patience. And I actually said that patience for me was a big thing. That was so hard for me. But I gave you tips on how I have managed to bring patience to the table, how I have managed to embody it. And now I am work in progress. And I'm so proud of myself. The 3 takeaways were: be present in a non-judgmental way so that you can show up. Now, for those of you who are with me last week, you will remember that I did make a confession here that I always thought that I was a non-judgmental individual until I went on to this course that is called Positive Intelligence. And lo and behold, I found out that I was very judgmental. I was judgmental of myself first, and then of people and the environment around me. That I took a beating actually when I realized that. But that moment allowed me to transcend. I realized that every time I walked into a situation, I was very subjective, very biased about my capabilities. I was already walking in with a defeatist attitude that I can't do this. I'm not good enough. There are others who are better than me in that room. I'm not equipped. Who is going to listen to me? And already this was defeatist. It was making me going into a war as an army, and I left all my weapons at home. This is what I did to myself. So you can imagine, if I was coming with that kind of state, what then was I doing to the people that I met? Every time I was in a different environment, I was doing the same thing. I was judging them. I was looking at them and thinking, you're not good enough. You don't amount to anything to be a thought leader. What is your education? I was doing the same thing that I was doing to myself unto others. And this is where we are saying that we need to be present and non-judgmental. When we are judgmental, we are robbing ourselves of the beauty of the present. Oh, let me use these two words together. We are robbing ourselves of the presence of the present. Whew, I actually said that without a tongue twister right there, without my tongue going all over the place. But yes, patience for me was a big one. That was a huge lesson. And we went through this positive intelligence to a point where now I am confident to say that I am work in progress. Do I still judge? Yes, heavily. Myself, situations, and people. I find myself doing it. But I'm aware now. To be aware is a powerful thing. So how you show up is going to be a determinant at this point, whether you're filling your cup with patience or not. The second takeaway was managing your expectations. Yes, yes, yes. I even gave another disclaimer there. I am a planner of the plan and a planner of the plan of the plan of the plan. And there's another plan. I'm the planner again. I am that person and defined as a stickler. I have structure and I believe in my structure. So I draw up my plans and I have a game plan. It's time bound. I try not to waste my time on non-issues. And I ask, how does that affect us right now? Is it important? If it's not, put it to the side. Well, I became a victim of my own plans in that I had set such high expectations to the point that I was not taking my wins, and we'll expand on that a little bit more in our session today. I was winning, guys, but I was not taking the wins because I had such high expectations of myself. Whereas it is a very good thing to have high expectations of yourself, but you've got to grant yourself some patience, some graces and mercies, because you can only control that input, what you're bringing to the table. The output is heavily dependent on the environment. The environment shifts. It's fluid. And what you know today may not be perceived by the rest of the world in the way that you want it to be perceived. So manage your expectations and take the wins. Take the wins. Don't be ashamed to take the wins. Well, we're going to be talking a bit more of that with my further examples. And then the last one was trust the process. And here I gave 3 examples. The first one was the egg, the chicken and the egg. Once the chicken lays the egg, there's a process, guys. There's a process for that egg to hatch. There's even a process for that chicken to lay that egg. We need to trust that process, that an egg will be hatched. In the end, we will have a chick coming out. So it will be laid and it will be hatched. The other example that I gave was a gestation period. In the gestation period, it takes months for a mammal to be able to give birth. For that period, for us to have this beautiful life at the end of that gestation period, we have to trust the process. And if it comes sooner, we then panic because it's not ready. It's not yet time. So why are you rushing your process? Why are you in such a hurry to get it right today? Well, you would say to me that in today's day and age, everything is convenient and fast. Very true, but at times to our detriment. And the third one that I used was the sowing season and the harvesting season. There is a time to plant and there's a time to harvest. All these are processes. So take these 3 examples and use them in your life. What is that one thing that you are hankering for, that you have a goal set up for, and that you think it's taking too long and it's your first time to do it? What is it? Give it time. Trust the process. Know that your input matters and you have already done what it takes. Now sit back and let it unfold. Trust the process. Well, today's session is all about honoring your achievements. And then next week we'll have lessons in failure. And then finally, the choice of servanthood. So I encourage you to be intentional and what's the word? Conscious about what you do for your mental health. These are the things that I do for my mental health, and I'm so happy to share them with you as tips. I am work in progress. I have not arrived and had the trophy. I'm enjoying this journey. It's just amazing, and I wish this upon you. So in this episode, we seek to know the impact of this awareness, this cognizance that I'm saying here, of our achievements on our mental health. So the achievements that we have in life, in our day-to-day life, how is that impacting our mental health? How is that helping us to move forward? So these things are very important. I'm hoping that they are impacting you, and I'd love for you to share with me what has touched you, what you can relate to. So I'll be sharing just 2 tips today, 2. I know every day I've been sharing 4, 5, 3. Today I've got 2 powerful tips that continuously serve me well. And the first one is the practice of self-appreciation. So I need to tell you a story here. When I started off Tuesday Talks at 3, and I'm remembering all this because I celebrated 3 years on June 23rd. I remember that time I used to be so stiff. I couldn't express myself here live because of fear of how you, my audience, would perceive me. So I was not being my authentic self. I know that now. And at that point, I was really limiting myself and saying that I wasn't good enough. I wasn't cut out for it. Who am I to appear on live like this? Look at my hair, it's gray. Look at my wrinkles. Look at my teeth, they're not straight. My eyes are bloodshot. Oh, I had every possible reason not to go live. And yet when I went live, I still had these inner voices in my head. And hence it could be seen in my body language. I was stiff. Well, needless to say, I have loosened up in the 3 years, and I absolutely loved it because I started to appreciate myself. So I encourage you to have self-appreciation of the things that you do. As long as you know that you have applied authenticity to it, you are showing up in your true self. The minute you start to even think that you're not being honest with yourself first, forget about the audience, being honest with yourself, then you know that the authenticity is questionable. You need to appreciate who you are. Take the time and acknowledge your achievements, no matter how big or small they are. And then I began to acknowledge them. It was the content that I created. It was the fact that I showed up consistently. And I can say by the time I was 3 years old, I had shared every Tuesday on Tuesday Talks at 3. I had come live to you on Facebook or here on IG. And I appreciated myself. The only time that I took leave was in December of 2022, where for 4 weeks running, Tuesday Talks at 3 was on leave. Literally, and I had a lot of withdrawal symptoms, but that's not what we're talking about today. It's about self-appreciation. So taking those wins, take a self-audit, guys. See what works and what doesn't work for you. And this self-audit is happening here and now. All this is in real time. It's nothing in the future. It's nothing about the past. Here and now. What are my wins here and now? Today, my wins are I have sent out 2 proposals today for work. And those are wins for me because by the time I'm sending out a proposal, it's tailor-made. Did I manage to do that? Yes, it's a win. But many a time, we downplay our successes and attribute them to external factors. So the external factor would be that I'm waiting for acknowledgement and validation to the person who is receiving my proposal. Then I will feel that I have won. No, let's start here. What have I done today to contribute to that win or to that lesson? You know, if I do not get the job, then it becomes a lesson. What can I learn from that experience? So what situation are you in right now? What are you focusing on? What are you planning, and are you sticking to it? Feel free to share with me here on the chat so that we can encourage one another. Thank you so much, Joanne Wangui. Lovely to see you here. Paul, great to see you here. Catherine, oh, lovely. Catherine, you're with us. Great to see you. And Nancy and family, great to see you all. Today, we are talking about filling your cup with achievements. And we are on the first tip, a tip that has served me so well. Self-appreciation, giving myself a pat on the back. What I'm saying is that in the small things that you do, appreciate what you've done. Write it down. Reflect on that journey because this process is very important. For you to reach that success, the major one that you're looking at, that we're looking at a SMART goal, you know, the vision, the mission, there are small successes and lessons along the way. Acknowledge them and use them. This helps your mental health. It keeps you waking up today, looking forward to the tasks ahead. And even if things are tough, You are able to come back and say, oh, wow, I have done this. Jackie, great to see you there. You are able to say that I have done this in the past. I can do this. I've got this, guys. And you're talking to yourself. Because those inner voices are real, guys. They live with us. At any time we want to transcend from what is a known zone into the unknown, the brain protects us. And so these voices become louder. I usually say they come with their grandparents and all their generation. They come to the table. This is true story. And you can be paralyzed in that moment not to move on. So I ask you again, what is it that you're staying focused on today? Are you staying focused on the small wins that you have managed over time? Or are you staying focused on those areas that you did not make it work? The choice is yours. But if you were to ask me, I would rather stay focused on the things that I have achieved, and it gives me growth. Fun fact, I am a nominee, a 2023 nominee of Pine Africa Awards, which is a hospitality and tourism system, award system. And I'm a nominee under the Female Trailblazer of the Year. And we have been going through the voting season. The voting season ended on Friday. Now the judges are looking at those votes and they're going to pick winners who are going to be announced on the 8th of September. I am a nominee. I have great chances to win. But what if I do not win? Have I not experienced success already? It's a resounding yes for me. I am a nominee and that can never be taken away from me. And why do I talk about this? Because now I'm reflecting on my journey and the steps that I took to get here to be recognized. I was doing me. And when I was doing me, I was showing up every day. I was told that I was recognized because I'm a trailblazer here on the social media with the work that I'm doing and the coaching that I'm doing and the training that I'm doing. And I was doing this for me, from servanthood, to help other people, help them get unstuck from my experiences. Thank you so much, Joanne. I see that. You say that I have. Yes. I am claiming that, yes, I have those successes. And therefore, I'm ticking it off the box. There are things that I did to get to this place. We cannot diminish them. We cannot minimize them. If the 8th of September comes and one of my competitors in this award gets it, I will celebrate her. And I will celebrate what she has done. But it cannot be taken away from me. I am a nominee and this will stay with me forever and ever. So what about your journey? Are you reflecting on your journey? What steps have you taken? Write down those achievements on your journey, no matter how small. And I did say this in Patience last week. I talked about, did you wake up this morning? There are many people who are challenged with getting out of bed. And today in Nairobi, the time now is 3:30 in the afternoon. There are some people who have not had the energy to get out of bed because of the situations that they're going through, the ailments that they are having, the addictions that they are going through. But you have been able to get out of bed today. This is an achievement. This is a win. Celebrate it. You have been able to eat, chew, and you're digesting the food. There are those who are being fed through tubes. Celebrate your wins, that your system is still working. You're able to breathe in oxygen. There are those who are wearing oxygen masks and having to pay for oxygen that you are consuming for free. So write down those achievements. On the flip side, write down how you overcame your challenges, because this is also beautiful. Overcoming your challenges is a way for us to measure growth. It is an important part of building self-confidence, of recognizing your own growth and capabilities. So where is it that you have had to overcome challenges? Write it down, guys. Write it down and be very specific about how you overcame. Because tomorrow, challenges are real. They are part of our lives. They will show up tomorrow. Remind yourself, these are my achievements and this is how I was able to overcome challenges. Because this is in real time. I'm a personal development trainer and have a framework that is called Kutabiri. Kutabiri is talking about the future, forecasting, for you being able to prophesy what will come. I take my trainees through this process so that they can go into the future, see their success of their SMART goal, and then ask themselves, now that I'm here successful, what did it take for me to get here? Who is here with me? What challenges did I face and how did I overcome them? Now that I know what I know, can I replicate them in the real time? And then this brings a lot of cognizance of the things I should be doing. A lot of saying no to many things and yes to your plan. So celebrate your progress and give yourself credit for your hard work. That is about practice of self-appreciation. It has worked so well for me and it continues to work. That is my first tip. My second tip is creating a positive narrative. Now, if you know me, I'm all about positive narrative. That does not mean I do not have my negative narrative days. The point of the matter is that you need to create positive narrative. As human beings, the first thing that comes to our mind is usually, in a higher percentage, negativity. If I ask you, how are you today? And you tell me you are fine. Just that word fine speaks volumes. And when I ask you, what do you mean by fine? You will start off by telling me the negative things in your life. You're a human being. I'm asking you that at this moment, start to consciously create a positive narrative. You'll be amazed when you start seeing the traction as it takes place there. So frame your achievements in a positive light by focusing on your strengths, on your growth, and your valuable experiences that you have had along the way. There is something that I teach and I call it the PALM method, P-A-L-M. And you most probably have seen this in my copy content on social media. When you are speaking, pay attention to your body. That means your physical. That's what P stands for. Physical. What is your body saying? Are you breaking out into a sweat? What does that mean? Are you cold? What does that mean? Do you feel like you want to take flight? That is your physical reaction. Pay attention. What is making your body react in this way? Do you feel warm and fuzzy? Why? That is the P. The A is the attention. Where is your attention going? What are you focusing on? Because it is said, whatever you focus on, that is where your energy flows. And I encourage you to focus on the positive. Because when you focus on the positive, you're calling upon it. The L is the language. And this is where the narrative comes in. What language are you putting to the situation? The language. Is it positive language, uplifting language? Is it affirmative language? What is it that you're saying to yourself first? And remember meaning. Many things happen and we give them different meanings without even saying a word. Pay attention to your meaning. So there you have it, P-A-L-M. If you want to know more about this, just direct message me and we can get into talking in a discovery call. I'll be very happy to share that with you. The discovery call is free of charge. Then what we do beyond that, then I will be able to give you a cost. But at least we'd have had this conversation. So frame those achievements of yours. When you've got a win-win, are you owning it or are you beginning to give it out to external factors? I won this only because of X, Y, Z. Let's start with ourselves first. The positive narrative. Because I enjoyed doing this. I absolutely loved going for it. I was thorough and consistent in the things that I did. I've told you about my story of Tuesday Talks at 3 and my consistency of showing up every Tuesday for 3 years. Avoid comparing yourself to others. Oh, this comes, I'm laughing because I did a lot of this and I do find myself still comparing myself to others. And there is a downfall in this. So you want to change your narrative. Use that energy when you're, what's the word now? Use that energy that you expend, I beg your pardon, out of comparing yourself. Use that energy that you expend to yourself and positive narrative. That energy that you're giving somebody else for what they have done that you're coveting. Use that for yourself. And you'll be amazed that that energy kind of fuels you. It makes you do things even beyond your capabilities and beyond your imaginations. Because when you compare yourself, it leads you to feelings of inadequacy. It's not going to give you any strength. So use your current self and your past self to measure how much you have grown. Use that energy there, not on other people. Highlight the ways in which you have improved, learned and evolved. I have one that is so powerful and I always use. I was very analog for the longest time. And though I was in directorship positions, I had teams that worked underneath me. I had the head knowledge, but I did not have the practicalities of how to do it. But I had the head knowledge and I was able to lead a team. They're the ones who came with a skill, so I honored their skill. I hired for their skill in areas that I found I was weak in. I hired, so I worked with them. But then came the pandemic, and suddenly I needed to learn how to be digital. And today I'm here with you. I'm multitasking. I've got all these gadgets around me. I am running my social media, my copy content, my scheduling. I'm taking reels of myself. I'm teaching people. I'm mentoring people online. This is where I am nowadays. I'm rarely outside. I of course, I miss the days of face-to-face, and I'm sure I will get to them. But what am I saying? Highlight the ways in which you have improved, and I can see my trajectory. So my question to you is, where is it that you have improved? Have you written it down? Are you intentionally aware of it? This comes in handy when you're filling your cup with these achievements, because only then can you pour out to somebody else. Only then can you nurture, enrich, and refresh your mental health. This positive narrative will not only help you to appreciate your achievements, but also motivate you to continue pursuing those goals. So you want to do that. Well, those are my 2 tips for the day, as I have said them, is being able to create a positive narrative and practicing self-appreciation. Remember, embracing your achievements is not about boasting. It's not about boasting or being overly proud. It's just about you being cognizant, being intentional about recognizing your worth and the progress that you have made. Great to see you here, Stella Maris. Karibu sana. So it is a healthy practice that can boost your self-esteem and provide the encouragement that you need to keep moving forward. We always need to be motivated, and the best kind of motivation is self-motivation first. So the 3 takeaways today as we come to the end of our session is reflect on your day. Self-audit. It's here and now. It is real time. The achievements are happening. Today when I'm done with my Tuesday talks at 3, that is an achievement. I will tick it. It's a small win, but man, it is my win. So what is your win today? Tick. You attended Tuesday talks at 3. Go about amassing these achievements that you have made and see what it does for your mental health. The next one is give meaning to them. Give meaning to the things that you're going through. And I shared with you my PALM method, which is noting how your physical is responding, knowing where your attention is going, being mindful of the language that you use and the meaning that you give to situations. And in this case, we're talking about honoring your achievements. In the things that we have done, the meaning we need to give is achievements. Wins, wins, wins. And last but not least, play to your strengths, guys. You have so many strengths, but many a times we concentrate on the weaknesses that we have. So if you are seeing there's a weakness, hire people who have the professional background that will come in and complement what you do and what you know. In the meantime, just work on your lessons. This is so important. Well, that's the end. Remember that embracing your achievements is an important part of building your self-confidence and recognizing your own growth. Don't forget that. Yeah. So let us refresh, let us enrich, and let us nurture our mental wellness, I beg your pardon. The recording of this episode will be available on our YouTube channel by this evening. The YouTube channel is LMC Consultancy, and when you're there, remember to hit the subscription button. Remember to hit the notification button for updates. Check out our courses on our website. Our website is lmcconsultancy.com for more learnings. What you've heard, there's more there. Our social media platforms also, you have great tips on personal development and mental wellness there. Follow us. You can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Facebook, you can find me on LinkedIn, you can find me on TikTok as Lucy, your clarity coach. Next week, we are still continuing with filling our cup, and we'll be talking about lessons from failure, or what we perceive as failure. Let us help build one another. Until then, be kind to yourselves. Bye-bye now.